Hello. Hello.
Hello, good morning. You can hear. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Let me get Dr. Mrs. Hold on for her, please.
Hello, Dr. Wadile. Hello.
Hello, good morning. We can hear you and we can see you. Are you having any
Okay,
issues?
good morning. I think that's okay. No, we're not having any issues, ma'am. We're just waiting for the facilitator, ma'am.
Okay, all right then. Thank you. Your video is on,
Yes, ma'am.
just in case. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. The PS. Hello, Dr. Madile. She's there, but I don't know why her. I can't even see her here.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
Is that
Dr.
Dr. Madile?
She's coming. She's coming.
Just hold on. Just be doing all
Okay,
that
she's
thing.
coming.
She will soon join
She's
you.
coming. She'll soon
She will
join you.
soon join you.
I'm going to mute it till she gets here. Is that okay?
Okay, all right. What's the video? Really can't see. Okay.
So what you are going to do is that if you don't want to have the PS, you will be about
She'll be ready.
every day, and then you will now go here, search for her, and then ask her to meet. As it is now, when you call PS, you will go there and click.
Can't I just unmute everybody?
Don't unmute everybody. Okay, some cars are anything else.
What does she use as her name? The PS.
I think for that, you can check that.
No, I think it's just extra.
Okay.
Okay. Let me read some.
We have already removed it. And those are
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. We're so sorry for the little hitches that we had, but we are good to go. A very warm welcome to all our attendees. I hope you can all hear me. Okay, everybody's on there. Yeah, that's true. We thank you for joining us this morning for this special webinar on health and wellness matters. My name is Bisi Roland from Post Service Department Office of the Head of Service. And it's a wonderful thing to see everyone here this morning. We're really delighted to have you join us as we explore into key topics in health and wellness matters. But please, before we begin, I would like to indulge you all to kindly type your questions into the question and answer box, or raise your hands if you have any issues with us, and we'll make sure to address them during our question and answer session towards the end. Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of the Permanent Secretary for Service Department, Mrs. Sukomi Oyegbola. Good morning, ma.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. And good morning,
Yes,
my
ma'am.
Oga and everybody on the call. Good morning. It's good to see your names. I cannot see you physically. See your names again appearing. God bless you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Permanent Secretary. I'd like you to please kindly declare the webinar open, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Permanent Secretary, ma'am.
You see, this is so
Yeah.
embarrassing each time you do this, and I keep telling your director, you keep me muted, and then you be calling me as if I'm not there. I'm here, but you have kept me muted. That's why I couldn't respond, immediately.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry about that, ma'am.
No problem. Thank you.
Sorry, ma'am. Apologies.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Once again, let me say good morning to everyone on the call. It's a pleasant morning. We thank you for joining this webinar. We await more people. I can see that we only have about 16 of us on the call. We know that other people will still join.
Yes, ma'am.
So yes. So let me welcome our doctor is going to also facilitate, and everyone. The topic I saw is health and wellness. This is a topic of major concern to everyone because we all want to be healthy, both mentally, physically, and spiritually. So I'm sure that we'll have a lot to learn today. And I also want to believe that whatever it is that we'll learn today, we'll be able to run with it, and it will help us to stay healthy and be in a good mental state of well-being. Thank you very much. God bless you. Happy listening.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Yes, everyone, we have with us today Dr. Iyabo Wale Modile, who is a highly experienced medical professional with over 45 years of experience in the healthcare industry. She is the Chief Medical Director of Nusami Clinic and Hospital Limited. That was since way back 1986. And she has led numerous healthcare initiatives aimed at improving patients' outcomes. She graduated from Kharkov State Medical Institute in Russia, and that was in the year 1976. And she got her additional qualifications from Lagos State University Teaching Hospital as a clinical preceptor in family medicine. Dr. Modile is a fellow of the Association of General and Private Medical Practitioners, also a fellow of the Medical Association of Nigeria and the Association of Family Physicians of Nigeria. Her extensive expertise spans several critical areas of healthcare, which includes clinical practice, family medicine, wellness, and public health. Her experience also provides valuable insight into living a healthier and more balanced life. Apart from English and Yoruba, she speaks and writes Russian and German languages fluently. I welcome everybody once again to the webinar. And I would like you to, oh, hello, Dr. Modile, can you hear me? I can't see you unmuted. Hello? I can't see her. I can't see her anymore. I'm sorry, I think there's an issue with the network. We can't seem to connect to the facilitator, but please, we're trying to get in touch with her. Apologies, please. Oh, God. Dr. Modile, please unmute. I'm trying to unmute you, but
Yes, it was.
Dr. Modile, please, can you unmute? Can't you be able to hear me? Hello, Dr. Modile. We are ready for you, ma'am. Um, so I'm sorry, please. We're trying to connect to the facilitator. So she said she has slight issues with her network, but give or take maybe 2-3 minutes. She's trying to change her network to another one. We are so sorry for this delay.
Tolúdà mo ló tún gbà lọ. Ó ti sú nìyẹn, kò mọ bóyá máa handle situation mọ́ ló fi disappear.
Ó ti lè disappear. Mi ò mọ̀ mọ́.
Yes, will you kindly take us up on this health and wellness matters while we await the facilitator?
Good morning. The Permanent Secretary, Public Service Office. Retired but not tired public servant of Lagos State. It's nice connecting with this morning, as you have heard from our host, Mrs. Roland, we are looking at health and wellness matter. And like the Permanent Secretary rightly said, this is a subject matter that is of concern to each and every one of us. And then looking at realities in retirement, funds are no longer coming in. We are no longer going to be having monthly salaries. And apart from that, our circle of friends will be reducing. There are some people that are our friends while we're in service. Some are just our friends because they have one or two things they require from us while we are still in office. Once you are no longer on that seat, some of you may lose contact with some of them. Some of them may no longer be reaching out to you. What am I trying to say? If we don't make efforts to ensure that we keep expanding our circle of friends, it may start reducing while in retirement. And that may lead to kind of loneliness, isolation, which may now impact on our mental health. Mrs. Roland, I'm not sure.
Yes, she's on now. I didn't want to interrupt
okay,
you.
So let me just
Yes, ma'am.
yield the floor to her. She's an expert in this field, and I'm sure we'll have a lot to learn from her. So let's just grab our jotters and papers, because the person who is speaking to us this morning is just not it's not just an expert. She's also an elderly woman who I think she has a lot, and she has a lot to share with us this morning. So I wish you happy listening. Make sure you jot your questions, because I know you have loads and loads of them. Bless you.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, madam. We can hear you,
Yes,
ma'am.
Good morning.
okay,
We can
okay,
hear you.
thank you if you can hear me.
Good morning,
I'm
madam.
Dr.
Good morning.
Dile.
You are audible, ma. Please go ahead, ma.
Good morning,
Okay.
ma'am. Can hear you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We want to talk
You are
about
audible. Please go
health
ahead, ma.
and wellness management. And what is health? Health is not just the absence of disease and infirmity. It is a state of complete physical, mental, emotional, and social well-being. And there are 4 factors involved. The physical wellness, which is the recognizable one, the one we usually call our vital signs, which you can measure. The intellectual wellness, the ability to think clearly, assess necessary conditions to ensure wellness. Emotional wellness, ability to recognize emotions such as fear, joy, grief, anger, and to cope with stress, positive and negative stress, anxiety and depressive cases. And social wellness, the ability to communicate with others and form relationship, which is what we call networking now. The changing concepts of health and diseases makes us realize some of the factors that are responsible. You have all heard about oxidants and antioxidants. And to understand that, I will briefly just take some of us back to our chemistry classes so many decades ago. We know that everything is made up of atoms and molecules. When they are in the molecular stage, they are in the stable stage. In atoms, they are not stable because their electron circle needed to be completed. And every atom is trying to find one electron to either complete or trying to throw away another electron to complete the inner circle. And in this case, they produce the oxidants and the antioxidants. Antioxidants, as the name suggests, protect the body against the destructive effects of free radicals. These electrons that they are throwing around or grabbing are what we call the free radicals. Antioxidants neutralize free radicals by donating one of their own electrons, ending the electron stealing reaction. The antioxidants form themselves to molecules, don't become free radicals by donating an electron because they are stable in either form. That is, those atoms that have incomplete outer electron circle, if they donate one and they have a complete one, then they are no longer free radicals. But the ones that can still donate are the ones that are the free radicals, and these are the ones that we need to, that oxidate, and we need the antioxidants to stabilize them. They act as scavengers, helping to protect cells and tissue damage that could lead to cellular damage and diseases. Vitamin E is the most abundant fat-soluble antioxidant in the body. And we find out that it is in so many molecular products that we have. One of the most efficient chain-breaking antioxidants available. It's a primary defender against oxidants, primary defender against lipid peroxidation, creation of stable molecules containing more oxygen than is usual. And that is for vitamin E and vitamin A. Vitamin C is the most abundant water-soluble antioxidant in the body. It acts primarily in cellular fluid. Of particular note, this is combating free radicals formation caused by pollution and cigarette smoke. It also helps retain vitamin E to its active form. So, for us to be able to have a good health, we need to manage it well. And that is where wellness comes in. The National Wellness Institute describes wellness as an active process of becoming aware of and making choices towards a more successful existence or living. It's an active process. By process, we mean that we never arrive at a point where there is no possibility of improving. A process of becoming aware. We are by our nature continuously seeking more information about how we can improve. Becoming aware of and making choices. Choices, we have considered a variety of options and select those that seem to be in our best interest. And we are doing all this towards a more successful. Success is determined by each individual to be their personal collection of accomplishments for their life. So the idea about health and well-being change over time and vary between life stages and culture. Components of wellness. Wellness has 7 components: the physical, the occupational, the intellectual, the spiritual, the social, the emotional, and the environment. To achieve the highest potential for well-being, there is need for a constant effort to remain healthy. This requires action that change behavior that results in positive outcomes in the 7 dimensions of wellness, culminating and improving health, quality of living, prolonged life, and total well-being. Physical wellness is also divided into so many parts, and we discuss that because it is the fulcrum on which wellness is based. You have the medical or clinical state, you have the diet, the exercise, and sleep. Physical wellness is developed through combination of beneficial physical activities, exercises, and healthy eating habits. The physical dimension is that which is measurable objectively by answering the following questions. TPRBP. When you go to the clinics, they tell you they want to do your vital signs, and they say they want to do the TPRBP, and now we are adding TPRBP SpO2. Your T is the temperature, the pulse is the P, R is your respiration, BP is your blood pressure, and this must be within certain parameters. People talk about, I am hot, I'm cold, I have fever. Actually, many people don't realize that when you talk to a doctor and you talk of fever, the only thing the doctor understands is your temperature. That you have a headache, that you feel tired, or you feel sick, it is not the only thing.
Hello, Dr. Modile.
Please,
Hello.
is
Please, can you
everybody
unmute?
hearing her?
Please, can you unmute yourself? All right, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, you haven't been hearing me?
No, just like some 10 seconds back.
Okay. Because I did not even touch it. Well, a lot
Yeah,
of
it
things.
was from our end. I'm sorry.
Okay. Then if you are 25, your BMI is 25 to 29.9, you are overweight. And once you are above 30 BMI, you are obese. A lot of people are obese and they don't seem to realize it. You need to know your blood sugar, your cholesterol level. If you are 40 years and you are a man, your PSA. Do you get annual physical medical check? Do you avoid being a secondary user of tobacco? That means, are you in the midst in the company of people who are smoking and you say, I'm not smoking? You are probably doing more smoking than they are doing. Do I get sufficient amount of sleep? Do I take sufficient amount of water? And that is interesting. When people come to the clinic and I ask them, I take a lot of water. And by the time we try to estimate, they are not taking enough. If you are 60 kilograms and above, you need about 3 liters of water every day. Every day. And some people will tell you they take 4 sachets of pure water. That is just about 1.5 liters. Or they take 2 bottles. A lot of people carry bottles of water around and they end up drinking less than half of the bottle. Do I have established exercise regime? I do exercise. The work I'm doing is more than exercise. And what I tell my patients is, yes, we know the athletes. We see them on television. Will a footballer tell you that the work, even he doesn't need to tell you that the work he's doing is more than exercise? But will he not get up at 6 o'clock and do his morning exercise? Will he still not even do exercise the day he's going to play World Cup? So exercise is quite different from the work you do. Some health conditions are considered silent killers and can be monitored by maintaining physical well-being. Such diseases like hypertension, coronary heart disease or angina, which will lead to heart attack. Hypertension will also lead to cerebrovascular accident. Anybody who has stroke must have had hypertension. Stroke is a complication of hypertension. Diabetes, obesity. Obesity is not just, of course, so many of you will remember there was a time the slogan was, you are eating well, you are eating because you want to be feeling well. But now we know that a lot of fat people are more sick than well. Osteoporosis, cancer, sedentary death syndrome. People die just because they sit down. They don't move. Life begins on our feet, and it will end when we can no longer be on our feet. Digital health problem, repetitive stress injuries, and internet addiction. Yes, these are some of the cases we now clinically consider as silent killer diseases. Diet and nutritional practices. A balanced diet. But we have all learned about that from primary school, carbohydrate, protein, and so on. A lot of people make quite mistakes. I think there's what is called breadfruit, some grains in Igbo land. And one of my diabetic patients believes this is protein. Unfortunately, it is not. It is more carbohydrate than protein. And to have a balanced diet, you start with what do you eat? When do you eat? How do you eat? And why do you eat? These are the 4 questions you need to ask. It is not just that you have put a delicious looking spicy plate of food. How do you eat it? Why are you eating it? When do you eat it? And what is it? For well-being, you need less unsaturated fat. Again, we're going back to water, adequate intake of water, less salt, fruits of different colors. The more the colors, the better. Less processed food, fresh vegetables and legumes, whole grains. And you eat slowly. Our teeth, God gave us 32 teeth. Nothing else is that except our nerves. Only 10 fingers on our 2 hands and 10 toes on our 2 feet. But he gave us 32 teeth, and different one for different work. Yet, some people will swallow beans, they will swallow rice, they will swallow everything. Even the swallow, the so-called swallow, you take it with a draw soup, which means you need the draw soup to go around. But when the swallow is too big, the lump is too big, how much draw soup can you put on it? So you take a little bit of it, even if it is swallow. If not, you still break it down with your teeth. Like one of my father's late dad, also a late friend, used to say, you Lagosians, you pound yam with your teeth. Yes, because you have to chew your teeth, your yam. We eat yam, we don't pound it all the time like some people in some other parts of the Yoruba land. And we used to crack those that we pound yam with our teeth. But please chew your food so that you are taking care even of your teeth in the process, and you are helping your digestion. And less sugar. Once you are 40 years, you don't need sugar at all, in any form. List of healthy food will show you vegetable as the beginning, fruit, seafood, nuts, seeds, beans and legumes, grains, poultry, eggs, dairy, and always we have meat at the end. In our environment, among vegetables, asparagus, avocado, broccoli, sprout, cabbage, carrots, cucumber, corn, green beans, green peas, onions, potatoes, spinach, water leaf, tomatoes. Fruits, apples, banana, grapefruit, grapes, lemon, lime, oranges, pawpaw, pineapple, berries, watermelon. Nuts and seeds, we have almond, cashew, walnut, peanuts, pumpkin seeds, sesame, and sunflower. Beans and legumes, we have the black beans, the kidney beans, the soya beans. For our grains, we have barley, brown rice, millet, whole wheat. And our spices, we have black pepper, chili, cinnamon, clove, ginger, mustard seed, parsley, peppermint, and thyme. There are a lot of other spices that are being pushed into our territory. People should please be careful with some of these things, because a lot of them are just being brought in for the culinary value. Consequences of poor dietary regime: overweight, obesity, vitamin and minerals deficiency, diabetes, hypertension, substance abuse including tobacco, psychosis, addiction, trauma, lung cancer, and high-risk behavior. One of the things that are being used for making one of our most common snacks, I think it's metnog or met something that they use for puff puff. Preparing for this, I came across a study that says it can cause hallucination if it is used in large quantity. Nutmeg, yes, nutmeg. Exercises. Physical activity is any movement that makes you feel warm and slightly out of breath, differently for different people. Benefit from exercise. It is not storable. So you cannot say, I did so much, it will last me for so many weeks. Whatever the length or gravity of exercise you might have done, in about 48 hours, it has gone. So it is something that you have to do constantly and consecutively. It is a persistent means of lifestyle. It has to be consistent, sustained, current, and regular. It cannot be stored. Walking, cycling, active hobby, gardening, sports, dancing, using the staircase and not the lift. Exercises reduce heart diseases, it reduces obesity, it reduces hypertension, depression, anxiety, improves circulation, gives you better sleep, reduces stress, and individually you feel better. In actual fact, for the management of diabetes, there are 4 factors. Unfortunately, so many people start with the wrong one. The 4 factors are exercise, that is number 1. 2 is water. 3 is your diet. And 4 is medication. So if you have diabetes, start with exercise. If you are not able to control it, check your water intake. If you are not able to control it, now your food before you go to medication. Sadly, people start upside down. They start with medication. You have built the house. You have solar panel on the roof, but you don't have the foundation. And anybody's guess is what could happen. We now talk of the sleep. I'm sorry about exercises. We recommend about 30 minutes per day, 4 or 5 days a week. For children, 60 minutes daily. Sleep improves concentration, refreshes your body, restores energy. The quality of sleep, the mental, the physical ability to stay calm, be in control, and stay on top of everyday life. Sleep has 2 stages, the REM stage and the non-REM stage. During the REM stage, you have the rapid eye movement, which is about 20%. The brain is still active. The muscles are getting relaxed. The non-REM, the brain is quiet. Any movement then is involuntary. Some hormones are released. The body starts to repair itself. The temperature slows down because circulation also slows down. What problem do you have when you don't have adequate sleep? It directly affects almost every area of health, leads to difficulty in fighting infection. The spiritual aspect. Of wellness. Spiritual wellness, to seek meaning and purpose of life, is termed spirituality. This is the ability to establish peace and harmony in our lives, to develop congruency between values and action, and to realize common purpose that bind creation together. To have value and believe in system, personal meaning, hope, and optimism, acceptance or rejection of creation. There are no prescribed spiritual ways. It is more a matter of looking onwards at own depth of understanding of existence and creation. Environmental wellness. This is the ability to recognize our own responsibility to the quality of the air, the water, the land that surround us, to make positive impact on the quality of the environment from our homes, from community, from nation, and the planet. To feel responsible to protection of natural resources and the enhancement of safety. Occupational wellness. This is the ability to get personal fulfillment from our jobs or chosen career while maintaining balance in our lives. And this is very sad because many people don't realize that they do not have occupational wellness. I will read that again. And if we think deep into it, even if it cannot help us because of our own age and we are getting out of the occupation, we can think of it for our children. The ability to get personal fulfillment from our jobs or chosen career. So while you are choosing the career, why are you choosing that career? Will it satisfy your ambition, your hope, or you are just doing it because I used to pass maths very well, so I'm doing science? Or you are just doing it because that is what is available? Or you are just doing it because you say there's nothing like this, let me go and try that? While we maintain balance in our lives, if you are not getting personal fulfillment from this, it will affect the balance in life. To contribute positive impact in the organization we work in, to society as a whole, to balance work and leisure. Ergonomics. Ergonomics is a science that deals with all what we use in our occupation. So many people will just see beautiful chairs in the catalog from Europe, from America, from outside and unfortunately our poor carpenters, etc., they have very little idea of ergonomics. They don't know at what angle some of these chairs, the wood that is used to make them, should be. And at the end of the day, you find out that the chair looks very beautiful, you sit in it and you don't get the comfort you should. The occupational wellness should also look at the science of work as a field of technology that considers human capabilities and limitations in the designs of machines and objects that people use, the work processes that they must follow, and the environment in which they operate. Intellectual wellness. This is the ability to open our minds to ideas and experiences that can be applied to personal decisions, group interaction, and community betterment. To learn new concepts, improve skills, and seek challenges in lifelong learning. Expression and experience of creativity. Setting realistic goals. Explore every opportunity with an open mind. Be aware of demands and expectations. A positive outlook, especially in dealing with conflicts. There is a chart which is called the Personal Wellness Checklist. I'm not sure if you have it. I sent it down to Mrs. Roland. I'm not sure if she is able to get it for you. The checklist, you have physical wellness, that is 40, social wellness, each of them is first 40. And there is a means by which you can score them. If you have between 35 and 40, it says to be outstanding. 30 to 35 is good. 20 to 30, you are at risk. And if you are below 20, you need help. If you don't have that checklist, it might be difficult for me to, but I will just read it. I hope you can understand what it means. Your physical wellness, if you consider very healthy, it is 1, somewhat 2, somewhat unhealthy 2, somewhat healthy 3. Oh, sorry, very unhealthy is 1 and very healthy is 4. And it is divided like that all through. And if you are able to score what I have read out, 35 to 40, that's outstanding. And if you have an outstanding score, it means that you are aware of the importance of this area to your overall wellness. More importantly, you are putting your knowledge to work for you by practicing good health habits. As long as you continue to do so, this area should not pose a serious health risk. It's likely that you are setting an example for your family and friends to follow. Although you received a very high score on this part of the test, you may want to consider other areas where your scores could be improved. If your score is 30 to 35, you are considered that your health practices in this area are good, but there is room for improvement. You look again at the items that have been discussed, you answer the score 1 or 2 points. What changes you could make to improve your score? Even a small change in behavior can often help you achieve better health. If your score is 20/30, your health risks are showing. Would you like more information about the risk you are facing? And why is it important for you to change this behavior? Perhaps you need help in deciding how to make the change you desire. Help is available from a finite health coach. You can schedule an appointment. That's not available here in Nigeria, but in part of I gave my references, so that's how they help those who have in those parts of the world. And if your score is below 20, you may be taking serious and unnecessary risk with your health. Perhaps you are not aware of the risk and what to do about them. You will find the information you need to help you locate in the Wellness Library at Wellness Proposals. Thank you very much for listening. I'll be very pleased to answer your questions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Modile. We appreciate your presentation, ma'am. Once again, I thank everyone for your presence on this webinar. I'll just quickly take a short recap on what Dr. Modile talked about. The topic, once again, is health and wellness management, and she gave us the definition of health, which is said is a state of physical, mental, emotional, and social well-being, and that there are 7 factors, which include physical, emotional, social, spiritual, and so much more. And she also talked about when you're over 40, and as we all are, as retirees, we have to take little or no sugar and try to reduce our meat intake. She also advised that we should take lots of vegetables and fruits, and the consequences of poor diet, which includes diabetes, substance abuse, vitamins and mineral deficiencies, and advised that we should do lots of exercise, take adequate rest so that depression will be reduced. And she also talked about the management of diabetes for some people who would have diabetics, although she might expatiate on that if there are questions after the recap, please. She talked about the 4 factors of the management of diabetes, which include exercise, water, diet, and medication. She also talked about sleep, which we need for rest. She talked about the REM and the non-REM stage. And when you go to the hospital, there are different things that you would do there, which include taking your temperature, your pulse, the respiration, and your blood pressure. I'm sure we all had an insightful listening session. So I would like, if we have any questions, I would unmute everyone, or you can please raise your hand if you have a question, or type in the chat box, like I said earlier. So does anyone have any question, please? I'm trying to unmute us. Okay, we have a question. Okay, someone asked if we could get the soft copy. Yes, we would send the soft copy to the platform. So we'll send that at the end of the session. Any other question for Dr. Modile, please? Maybe on diabetic issues, how you have to manage it, or anything like that.
Hello.
Hello, ma.
Hello.
Yes, ma.
Please, we appreciate the doctor, ma. But
Yes,
on this diabetes, she spoke about diet. You know, when they go to hospital, nobody will tell them the type of food that diabetes, they will say they are eating through a sugar level or something like that. But I will plead with her that what type of food does she think a diabetic patient maybe will be eating, apart from I think they talk of wheat bread and I don't know. So what exactly, as a medical personnel, can she suggest that this person should be taking, apart from cucumber, all other things? Thank you, ma.
All right, ma. Thank you very much for your question, ma. Dr. Modile, over to you, ma. Please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Because when you give a lecture and there is no question, it's either nobody has listened or nobody understood. So I'm glad there is a question. Yeah. I will start by saying that I am 44 years diabetic. I've been diagnosed, I've been managed as a diabetic patient for 44 years. And you wouldn't know if I don't tell you. One, we talk a lot about what a diabetic patient should eat and should. The only thing that you should not take as it is sugar. And I say sugar and anything that is in sugar. Unfortunately, you make the mistake of thinking every carbohydrate. No, every carbohydrate is not sugar. It will eventually become sugar. But everything you eat before, you can still eat. What people don't seem to understand is it is the quantity. As a diabetic person, the first management is exercise. 2-3 years ago, diabetes was being managed with cycling. I'm sure some of you who are very conversant with the television will remember that there was a time that cycling was one of the factors that was being used. And we have people who are even on insulin that went off insulin just from cycling. If you are managing diabetes and you are not active, you are sedentary, you are not likely to get out of it. It will kill you faster than you should. And the second is the amount of water. People think that, I drink the water, I go. Yes, you will continue to go and pass urine until you have taken enough water. Because the body is being forced to make you pass more urine in the process of diluting the concentration. And then it is a vicious circle. When you dilute the concentration, you pass urine, you have less water within, and then you pass more urine. And that's why the Yoruba call it atogbe. You pass urine until you become dry. Apart from sugar, and people will say, I take honey. I'm sorry, I'm still going to mention Yoruba because that is my culture and that is what I know most about. Yoruba say, Adape ole, lomo mi nfewo. My child dey pilfer. Your child dey steal, not dey pilfer. Steal is steal. We say don't take sugar. You say you are taking honey. You are deceiving yourself. It's not that honey is bad. Which food is bad? All food are good. Even the sugar we are talking about is good. But because of your condition, you are not to take it. In actual fact, fruits are good. But you are not to take pineapple if you are diabetic because of the sugar in it. So every food, even you can take gari, you can take the yam amala. You don't need to take a plantain powder. But then the quantity. So you reduce the quantity because your body is not, if 10 people eat 10 different meals, when we look at their stool, you are not going to see the different colors of the food. Your body calculates calories. It is the calorie inside the food you are eating that matters. So it is the quantity of the food that matters. Don't start running around looking for wheat bread. The white bread, what is it made from? Is it not same from the same wheat? The difference is that the white bread the wheat has been processed and the fiber in it has been removed. But when you take your wheat bread, there is still a lot of fiber in it. So the same weight of white and wheat bread will have more calorie in the white bread and less in the wheat bread. So at the end of the day, it is the calorie you have taken that matters. For example, if you have diabetes, make your own pap and don't sieve your corn. Soak it for 4 days or 5 instead of 3. Grind it twice so that it is very soft and don't sieve it. Some of you will be wondering, why will we take pap that is not sieved? But you all eat corn. You all eat corn, either cooked or roasted. Is it not the same shaft that you swallow with it when you eat it? And do you know, the shell is the fiber. That is what will help your digestion. But it will fill your stomach. You will not feel hungry. And you would have taken a less quantity and a less calorie. So I'm not going to give you a list of don't eat and eat. Everything you have been eating, please eat it. Reduce the quantity. Take more vegetables. Take food that contain a lot of fiber. If you have money, buy basmati rice. If you don't have so much, parboil your rice and eat it. Eat your beans. Eat your yam. eat sweet potato, but eat less quantity. Take more vegetable. I will say, I won't tell you not to eat anything because you are diabetic. No. But reduce the quantity because your body is dealing with the calorie content.
All right, ma. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Rotimi Omotola, can you please unmute yourself? You raised, sorry, Mrs. Rotimi Omotola. Please kindly unmute yourselves. All right, ma.
I have. Good morning, everybody,
Good morning,
and thank you, Dr. Modile, for this presentation. Very, very helpful. I want to ask a question, and that has to do with the fruits that we have in Nigeria. You mentioned a lot of fruits very well. Most of these fruits are very expensive, as we know, strawberry, blackberry, and all kinds of things. But that is not even what concerns that as much. The quality of fruits that are available to us. For instance, buy watermelon. It's ripened with carrot. And then at the end of the day, you break the watermelon, you eat it, it is tasteless. You eat apple, the apple is tasteless. You take mango, the same thing, it's sour. And then a lot of things like that. In fact, right now, the only one that I find a bit that I can tolerate is probably oranges. So what can we do? Because the health hazard.
Hello, ma.
Hello. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think we lost her. I think
Yes, I got her question, but she has not been listening because I specifically mentioned when I was going to start mentioning the vegetables, the fruits, I said in our environment. And even to my patients in the hospital, I always tell them, eat the fruit in season. And I have my write-up right in front of me. All what she mentioned are not there. I will read it again what I wrote. Apples, banana, grapefruit, grapes, lemon or lime, orange, pawpaw, pineapple, berries. And when I say berries, I mean agbalumo, watermelon. I didn't write any of those raspberry, strawberry, and all those brie. I personally don't even like all those fruits they bring from somewhere else because the process of keeping them until they get here, I'm not very sure about it. And we hear of so many things. Only recently I learned that even the tea, the tea we take in bags, those bags are all vaporized with nylon vapor so that they don't stick together. So please, if you are going to take tea, if you are not getting tea leaves, cut the tea bag, pour the tea inside into your cup and pour your hot water in it. But the fruits, please eat the fruits that are in season, and they are the fruits that are grown here. Strawberry, raspberry, and all those other ones, I don't know. I did not even write the English pear. I wrote avocado pear. So I don't advise it apart from the cost. I also believe that we should eat what is more local and in our environment.
all right, ma. Thank you for your response. Someone asked if job performance can affect wellness and health.
Of course.
Okay.
I did mention that. when I was talking about the occupational wellness. And it starts with the very first thing, that is the ability to get personal fulfillment from our jobs. You will realize that if you have a personal fulfillment in your job, you will not even realize you are doing the job. You won't remember the time because you are fulfilled. And once you already start having issues with the job, both your performance, the quality, and your health will be affected. To go to work in the morning is like you are dragging yourself to go. But if it is a job you enjoy, if you have fulfillment, you are already on the go. You want to be on the run. So
That's for those who are still at work. Many of our attendees are retirees, man.
Yes, I know.
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
why if you remember when I started this particular, I said it may not be for you, but for your children. Those of you that listened, I mentioned that when I was talking about occupational wellness. And that first sentence, I read it twice, and I said it may not affect you because of your age, but this is something you should let your children think about.
You said it, ma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Do we have any other questions, please? Because time has really gone. It's 11:45 now. Mr. Felix Wole, I'm sorry, sir. Do you have a question?
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I'm speaking from Kwara State.
Oh.
By the time that doctor was talking, she made mention of meat, and we're told that some blood groups like O positive, they need a lot of meat for the body and less protein from other sources. So I don't know if doctor can.
No, sir, did you say mint or meat?
Yes, meat.
Meat. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Felix Oluwole. I mentioned meat as the last in the list when I was given the list of the protein.
Yes.
And I think I will have to do some more reading and some more research as to how meat has anything to do with your blood group.
The something.
In the first instance, as a retiree, I think your concern, especially as a man, and you are above 40, should be about your prostate. It should be about all these silent killer diseases.
Okay.
I don't think you want to add more weight. So you may even do without meat completely. The only thing that can be said about meat and blood is that meat actually is the largest source of iron. Of all the things we eat, it's red meat that contains the most iron. But by the time you get to that age and you have been living a well-balanced life, you've been eating right, unless you have an accident and you lose blood quantity should not be a problem. Your blood will be lost, or you might have anemia, that is inadequacy of your blood, either the cells or the iron. If you have a bad infection and it's not properly managed, but it shouldn't be from your diet, because your diet should be such that would have taken care of all that. Unfortunately, not because of what is happening now, but because of many things that had happened. There are people that have what we call adult kwashiorkor. But that is not because of the meat They can get their iron from other means. They can get quite enough iron from the vegetables we've been talking about, and even from the fruits. But what we advise older people is to reduce red meat in their diet because of cholesterol, especially, and because this will affect such diseases that affect old age, cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, obesity.
All
Thank
right,
you
ma.
very much.
Thank you. Thank you, ma.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. I'm sorry for the pronunciation, Mr. Emokpe. I'm not sure if I got that right. Mr. Emokpe, you have a question. Do you have a question, please?
Mrs. Emokpai.
I'm sorry, Mrs. I'm very sorry. Can you please go on with your question? Hello, ma. Okay. I think maybe she can't hear us or something. All right. On that note, I would like to appreciate Dr. Modile for her presentation. We really appreciate your presence. I'm very sure we've all learned new things about our health. And if we have any other questions, you can always ask on the retirees platform, and we will get in touch with her. But I would leave her contacts on the chat box. So Dr. Modile, we appreciate you once again. Thank you very, very much
Thank
for your
you very
presence.
much.
Thank you.
Ẹ ṣé mà, ẹ pẹ́ fún wa mà o.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Mrs. Druodola. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Sam. So
Ẹ ṣé
everyone
gan-an.
can, oh, sorry, I'm listening.
Thank you. We really appreciate you.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Mrs.
We appreciate
Druodola,
you.
for the wonderful job
Thank you very
you've
much, sir.
been doing. Most especially for those of us that have retired. Thanks so much.
You're very welcome,
Remain
sir.
blessed.
We appreciate your presence all the time. So we can all say hello to one another in 2-3 minutes before we end the webinar.
Hello,
Thank you very
everyone.
much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
your efforts.
Yeah.
Appreciate you and everyone. Thank you.
Yes.
See you the next 2 weeks again.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Ẹ
you.
ṣé
Good morning, and have a blessed
Thank
week
you.
ahead. Thank you.
Ọlọ́run wá pẹ̀lú
See
gbogbo
you
wa
in
o.
the next session.
Amen,
Bye.
ma.
Amen.
Good health is our portion in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you very much. So we'll see in
Bye.
the next 2 weeks by God's grace. Have a good week.
Amen.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Amen.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, ma. God bless.